All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give our honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rekha HaKodash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rekha HaKodash. Double honors due to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, blessings to the Lord's elect. This is the brother Yeshaya, part of Men of Valor, South Carolina. This lesson right here is going to be about the declining relations between the West, aka America or Babylon the Great, and Europe, aka the EU or the European Union. Okay. Now, this is it's all prophetic, right? Because the scriptures say that the beast shall hate the whore, all right, and the whore that sitteth upon many waters, all right, is representative of who? America, Babylon the Great. Okay, and the beast that has 7 heads and 10 horns is representative of the NATO and the EU nations, right? So just before I get started, now here's the trusty dusty sign that we have through the Spirit and Prophet How about Shem Shai, given to us by the elders of Great Millstone. Right now, as you can see, that whore, okay, right here is representative of America, Revelation 17, all right, which we're going to go to. And the 7 heads is the 7 governments or kingdoms ruled by E. So that would be Germana Major, Germana Minor, uh, the Romans, the French, the Spanish, the British, and the Greeks. I think that I named them all. The Greeks, the British, Germana Major, Germana Minor, Spanish, the French, and the Romans, right? And the EU nations, okay, which are a part of the Beast 2, all right, represented by Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Spain and Portugal, England and Ireland, and West Germany. Now that would be 12 because they initially it was 12, but as you can see, number 8, Spain and Portugal is one, and number 9, England and Ireland, they're included together, right? So that's just a little, imagery to go with what I'm saying. So going back to this article, okay, so this is all prophetic and is leading us to World War III. The end of the West and Europe's future. The West is over. What this means for Europe. Donald Trump's return to power in the United States signals the demise of what has been called the West. The alliance between Western Europe and the United States, forged in the 2 world wars of the 20th century and solidified during the Cold War. The fall and the NATO was actually created. NATO was actually created to combat Russia, right? To stand as an alliance against Russia. The fall of the Berlin Wall had already weakened this point, but it is now likely in the process of being severed once and for all. The United States has been shifting its focus towards Asia and China for years. The trend began under Barack Obama, who initiated a de facto withdrawal from Europe and its neighboring regions, most notably by choosing not to intervene against Bashar al-Assad in Syria. The Biden administration's strong support for Ukraine temporarily slowed this disengagement, but there was little doubt that the trajectory will continue. Beyond these geopolitical shifts and the underlying geoeconomic dynamics, Trump's presidency marks a decisive and likely irreversible acceleration of this trend. Under his leadership, the United States is openly breaking with the values that once defined the shared heritage of the West: democracy, the rule of law, and inalienable human rights, right? The right to physical and social security, international law, and a rule-based multilateral order. In practice, however, the West has often strayed from these ideals. European states behaved disgracefully towards their colonies and their inhabitants during the wars of independence, while the United States during the Cold War readily supported brutal dictatorships to counter the USSR. So there you go. For overthrowing Mohammed Mossadegh in Iran to Salvador Allende in Chile. The post-Cold War era was no better, as demonstrated by the disastrous invasion of Iraq. And just as I'm going to pull up in the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, Russia is going to play a key pivotal role in the destruction of America in this Third World War. And Russia has always been a player, when it comes to world relations and, the world wars, man. Hey, like I said, the the creation of the EU and the NATO basically was to combat the USSR. So, you know, there's just a little bit of information. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to read a little bit more in this and then I'm going to go to the scriptures. America's first did not begin with Trump. The United States, once a champion of multilateralism, did not wait for Trump to undermine global institutions. Washington had long been criticizing and defunding the United Nations, the UN, UNESCO, and the WTO. It refused to ratify the statute of the International Criminal Court, rejected the jurisdiction of the International Court of Justice, and declined to support the Kyoto Protocol, setting back global efforts to combat climate change by at least 25 years. The America First doctrine predates Trump. Until now, the gap between Western practice and professed values had not led to an explicit repudiation of these fundamental principles. Both Europe and the United States chose to tolerate this double standard. However, under Trump, the United States has reached a decisive break with the Enlightenment's legacy. Trumpism appears to be a lasting shift in American history. Okay, Europe too may succumb to illiberalism and authoritarianism. This is the aspiration of Europe's far right, which seeks to capitalize on the Trump-Musk effect, bolstered by formidable technology and financial resources. Their mission is made easier by the mainstream right, which is increasingly observe far right ideas. However, Trump and Musk's excesses and their likely failures may have a repelling effect on European voters, much as Hitler and the Mussolini eventually alienated most Britons, French, and Americans in the 1930s, despite strong far-right support in those societies. Before Musk, Henry Ford, the pioneer of mass automobile production, was a fervent pro-Nazi and a vocal advocate of a United States-Hitler alliance. He even came close to running for the U.S. presidency on this platform. Wow, I didn't know that. So yeah, just a little bit on this article, man. But this is all prophetic, right? And let's go to oh my, yeah, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 14. Because World War talks is, the World War drums are beating. Revelation 11 and 14. The second war is past. All right, mind you, I read in that article they were concentrating on the two world wars, which basically the West and the European Union and the NATO formed an alliance, right? Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So, world war is in the Bible. Okay, woe means destruction. All right, so when you read in the Bible, especially in the book of Revelation, it talks about World War One, right? And I think that's in Revelation, the 9th chapter, I believe. So yeah, the second woe or the world war is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So there you go, right? So moving on. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, and starting at the top. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So there's no Gog and Magog. It's Gog, the land of Magog. And say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn Japhet, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And that's how you know that it's talking about Russia, because of the landmass that it's describing. Okay, that land of Magog and Meshech and Tubal is Japhetic. And when you look at the a map of the Japhetic land, is basically that no man's land at the top, all right, and then going down into Russia and like northern Europe, so to say. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So this is war talk. This is regalia, war regalia, right? Warfare. And it talks about the hooks into the jaws. Now, the scriptures also refer to Russia as the bear, the bear, right? So what the Lord is saying right here, He's gonna turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. All right. Basically, the same entity that EU and NATO, NATO was constructed to fight against, aka the USSR, is going to return back to the USSR state that it was once in. Okay, it was somewhat disbanded, but it's going to return back to that USSR of old. Okay, the Lord's going to put that old spirit back into them, is what this is saying. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. So there you go, more war talk, more war regalia. Gomer, all right, and all his bands, the house of Tergamar of the north quarter, so Turkey, all right, and all his bands and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So Russia, all right, is going to take, guard or take hold of these countries, right, in this third world war to what? Defeat America. Okay, so let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 17. All right, starting at the top. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Salakia. Yeah. Revelation 17 and 1. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show thee unto the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And that great whore, like I showed earlier, is America, Babylon the Great, right? With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, right? So I'm gonna skip down to the point. All right. This is a whole nother lesson within itself, but I'm just gonna get to the point. And there were seven kings, five are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And if I'm not mistaken, that sixth one was the French or Spain. Yeah, it had. I think it was either French or Spain, but the seventh, okay, that must come is definitely talking about Great Britain. All right, and the beast that was and not is not, because hey, this is the revised Roman Empire. Okay, that beast that had his deadly head wound healed, basically is America or Babylon the Great being Rome all over again. Rome 2.0, for lack of better words. Spiritual Rome. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth and is of the seventh and going into perdition. Now, the seventh king is Great Britain, okay? And the eighth is America, right? Because when you go into the book of Jeremiah, it talks about the mother being sore confounded, all right? And that mother is what? Great Britain. So I'm going to read Jeremiah 50 and 1. The word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. It's talking about Babylon the Great, modern day Babylon. Declare ye among the nations, and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. From out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which, we just read in Ezekiel 38, which is Russia. From out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. So Russia's going to be in the forefront, and all of the thermonuclear missiles that they have, the ICBMs, is going to be exhausted. Okay, scriptures say 200 million. All right, and each of these missiles have several warheads, so that number is very well possible, right? That's what John said. He said he saw he heard 200 million, 200,000, which is 200 million. So going to the point. Yeah, Jeremiah 50 and 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. Okay, going into what I read, Ezekiel 38. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And that's what I mentioned earlier, the ICBMs or the missiles, the thermonuclear missiles. And Chaldea, which is talking about Babylon, there you go right here. And when you go to the NLT, it says Babylonia, so that's how you know it's talking about the same place. All right, aka America. Be a spoil, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, O you destroyers of mine heritage, because you were grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded. So Great Britain is going to be sore confounded. Great Britain is going to be the, slacking. Great Britain is going to be the last country to turn its back on America because it actually incepted America, and this is the stronghold of which the high level elites, or the low level elite, but the elites, nonetheless, that's where they operate out of Great Britain, but they use America to do their bidding, right? Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be as a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. And this hindermost of the nations is America, the Western world. Okay, the fourth part of the world. Okay, this is the last part of the world after Pangea split that was inhabited, right? When the Northern Kingdom came over here to serve their power, serve our power, okay, in a nation that was, I mean, in a land that was not known as Asareth, okay, and you know King Solomon used to come over here as well, you know, with his send his navy, all right, to gather certain things, all right, and America is also known as Ophir, all right, they had fine gold, so yeah, because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So there you go. All right, you can read more into it, but you know it's going into the same thing. Maritime. And the Maritime is America. Go up against the land of Maritime, even against it and against the inhabitants of Pekod. Waste and utterly destroy after them, saith the Lord, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. So just to end it, we're going to go to the book of Revelation, chapter 17. And where did I leave off at? Yeah. And he that, verse 15, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the horse sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So just envision that right there. America is basically at the top of all these nations right now. Right. Verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua shall be fulfilled. So there you go, right? And that woman which thou sawest is that great city, Babylon the Great, America, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So right now, you know, America is was, you know, at a point in time the superpower of the earth. But just as Jeremiah the 50th chapter states, oh, how the hammer of the whole earth is suddenly broken, right? So the superpower of the earth is about to be broken, burned with fire, and totally and utterly destroyed by the hands of the NATO, EU, and Russia as well, because Russia is not part of NATO or the EU. So, yeah, Lord willing, I was edifying him, ended with that, giving our honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, all right, who taught us this truth. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the Lord's elect. And until next time, shalom.